Hey, how's it going? It's Grant
And Shelby.
with the Garden of Eater, and tonight we're going to be talking about what to do with your tanks when going on vacation, workcation, whatever you got to do, leaving your tanks for an extended amount of time. We get this question asked quite a bit when we're out and about. What do you guys do with all the tanks when you're gone? And well, for a long time, my answer was, well, with the shrimp, I really don't mind leaving them for like 2 months at a time. I understand that some of the weaker ones, when they molt, they might get consumed by some of the other stronger juvenile and healthier shrimps that are a little bit hungry. However, I feel like for everyone that is eaten, 20 to 30 babies will be born and replace them. Assuming you can have lights on timers and stuff like that, they can grow out the biofilm. And, shrimp are pretty good scavengers and they don't need too much. If anything, they'll kind of just slow down and kind of reduce their metabolism and wait for the next feeding before, exhausting too much energy. But for the most part, we were saying the house is fine for 2 months until Shelby started adding some fish and then some more fish and then a lot more fish. And then, of course, some of those fish have babies, and then everything becomes a total different story. So we're pretty much going to go over and cover everything from just few tanks to having an entire house full dedicated to aquatics or even reptiles. A lot of this can be used for both the aquatic reptiles that we have in the house too. So first off, the most important thing that you want to make sure you're on top of, you're consistent, and you haven't slacked off on is got to be water changes. If the water's dirty before you leave, you're already setting up yourself up for failure, and you want to try and get ahead of the situation and make sure the water is as clean, pristine as it possibly can. And for the most part, that's just trying to set up your routine, your schedule to get it as close to the day before you leave as possible. I know, like myself with the discus, the very first time that I left them on vacation, I was really worried because I doing a water change and not being able to watch them and feed them and everything like that the very next day was a little stressful. But them having clean and pristine water, if anything were to happen while you're gone and the water was dirty and not taken care of course, whatever did happen would be significantly worse with dirty water without, a clean filtration system and everything else like that behind it. So you're going to want to make sure that your aquarium maintenance is on point before you leave. And like I said, try and get it as close to the day before you leave. If you are a little paranoid, do it 2 days before you leave. So you got a day of observation before you leave. Then the next thing that you want to stay on top of, but do not overdo this, is going to be feeding. A lot of times people will overfeed and pour in a bunch of food into the aquarium right before they leave, assuming that the fish, shrimp, snails, whatever they're taking care of, it's just going to, munch on that while they're on vacation, and it won't be a problem. That's not the case at all. A lot of the times the fish will eat some of it, and then the water will foul up, ammonia will start peaking, nitrites and nitrates will also start going up, and then this will also, cause the shrimp and whatnot to stop eating as much, and eventually you're going to end up with dead bodies and other stuff because your filtration system can't keep up with it, and you've got now toxic water from overfeeding. So if anything, just do a regular normal feeding right before you leave. So if you're feeding every other day, it's all right maybe to feed 2 days in a row right before you leave. That's not really going to be a problem. This is for shrimp. For fish, some of the fish will feed twice a day. Maybe feed a small amount 3 times a day or something like that, but don't feed any extra than you normally would otherwise, because that's just not going to be eaten and it's going to start to foul up the water, and it's just not going to do the benefits that you were thinking going into it. So, just keep on top of your normal feeding schedule. Don't overdo anything. There are some feeding blocks and other things for the fish that you can add into the tank, automated feeders and stuff. But those things can always fail. Not every fish likes those feeder blocks and stuff like that. So certainly don't test those out right before vacation. That's not a good idea either. So for us, we get those feeder mineral blocks, and we'll use them for our big shrimp ponds outside, and not a lot of issues with those because there's such a large water volume with over 170 gallons of water. However, smaller aquariums with a decent amount of fish or whatever, even still, that can foul up the water without you being able to do a water change when that brick is all done. So kind of avoid those. Just kind of do things as you normally would. For the shrimp, there are situations where you can feed certain foods that isn't going to foul up the water, like the soy ahoy or snowflake food. You can feed quite a bit of that, a little bit extra. If you normally feed a tank 3 pellets, you could feed maybe 6 pellets instead. And then there's a little vacation food, little snacks, whatever doesn't get eaten will turn into biofilm and kind of deteriorate and turn into food that the shrimp will eat. So I highly recommend, dropping a little snowflake in if you're leaving for an extended period of time. And then on top of that, leaf litter. This is one of the 2 times that I actually recommend using leaf litter. One is for bacterial infections. The Indian almond leaves, really no other leaves. But leaf litter like guava, mulberry, and the Indian almond leaves. There's a couple other leaves that are all right, but those 3 are like my prime ones. Mulberry gets eaten rather quickly, but the guava and the Indian almond leaves are good vacation foods. You drop them in the tank. Yeah, some of the shrimp are going to eat the decaying leaves and stuff like that, but really they're going to add in some extra biofilm for the shrimp to graze on. And because it's a dying botanical that's going to go through and kind of break down a little bit quicker and grow a little bit more biofilm than regular just rocks or anything else that doesn't have dying, decomposing matter to feed the biofilm. So the leaf litter does have its purpose on vacation. For us, we have 300 currently-ish shrimp tanks running. If we were to leave for 2 months, I would surely order like 1,000 leaves so we can set up a bunch of them in the tanks and give them a little bit extra food, in case you take a 2-month trip to go to Peru with Dr. Anthony or something in the future. You never know. Could happen. You got anything for me? No? No questions. Yeah, all right, hold on. Excuse me. All right. Also, back with water changes. There's also, you're on top of your water change schedule and stuff like that. Everybody's got, possibility of putting a lid on their tank. If so, you can do that. Sometimes some people might not like, saran wrap or something like that over the lid, over their tank if they can't put a lid. If you're on vacation and you're not having to look at the tank, it's something to think about. Or an automated top-off system. Those are also nice. And if you have one of those, just make sure that is topped off before you go out on vacation. So then the next thing to worry about would be the lights. Lighting is, quite important for the shrimp in order for them to grow biofilm. So if you can put timers on your aquariums, I highly recommend it. If you're not going to be home and you don't need to view the tanks and you're not worried about, certain plants and whatnot, you can just simply do an 8-hour run cycle, and you're not going to have to worry about coming home to a bunch of hair algae or blue-green or blackbeard algae or anything like that. So we forgot about the pump. Is that what you're doing? Oh, thank you. So as long as you make sure that The lights are on timers. If you can't do timers, it's better off just to have absolutely no light at all. Of course, this depends on how long and what time of the year you're leaving and stuff like that. But you definitely want to make sure that there's some type of daylight coming in, and that the shrimp are getting some type of biofilm growing if you're leaving for like more than a week or something like that. But if you're just leaving for like 4 or 5 days, even a week or two, honestly, there's not much harm to leaving off all of the lights on the aquariums and coming home. Certainly do not want to leave your lights on for 24/7. You are just going to come home to a massive eruption of algae like you can't believe. It could also stress out shrimp and cause other issues like an entire tank crash. So yeah, stop me.
Welcome, Syra Aquatics. Oh, Sarah Aquatics. I thought you were already
aquatics.
No. It's
No.
like Syracuse. Remember?
Oh, yep, you're
I
right.
remember now. But welcome back. If you haven't got your membership sticker, make sure to email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com to get your sticker and your discount code to our website. Thank you.
Welcome to the team. Thank you for the support. Man, it is just one bummer after another with the memberships that have been over a year to support us. We have your support gift, I guess. I don't know what to call it. Done. The print is beautiful. I'm really happy with it. It was supposed to be shipped to the event that we just did this past weekend. However, there was a delay in transit and we were unable to receive the package. So we're going to have to link up with that at a later date, if not Aquashella in 2 weeks. So
thank you. Kevin Woods for the $1.99 super chat says, trip for 9 days. Do the shrimp need fed while gone?
No. So we were just talking about food. There are some snowflake food options that you can throw in the tank, and then it'll grow biofilm and break down and feed the shrimp for 7 to 9 days. Surely, if you normally feed like 3 pellets, feed 6 pellets. If you normally feed 2 pellets, you can feed like 5 or 6 pellets, and it's still not going to foul up the water. And there's surely going to be food probably in the tank when you get home. You can also drop a couple leaves in the tank, but as long as you have enough surface area and biofilm, and you fed the tanks right before you left, the shrimp are going to be more than fine for 9 days. I don't normally think that the shrimp are going to start eating themselves until they go like 2 weeks or longer without being fed. But thank you
so
for
much.
your $1.99 donation. But yeah, anybody has any vacation questions or anything like that, tonight is the night. We got a lot of people leaving for Aquashella. We've got some people leaving for the South Florida Expo in Coral Springs this weekend. And then, of course, the holidays are right around the corner. So we figured this would be a great topic, and it is fresh for us since we are doing 3 shows in a row. Plus, we just had Gary. I almost said Larry Gang. Gary Lang here at the house, and so it's been quite an eventful past 2 weeks, and it's still running. So we had to make sure all of these things on our checklist were on point several times in just this last year alone. So
Johnny said, Grant, how often do you feed your shrimps, and what particular types of shrimp and beef types?
So we feed our shrimp every other day. We get a good rotation.
No, you asked how often you feed them.
Listen, I said we because we rotate. I fed the shrimp last night. So when was the last time you fed the shrimp? Touche. See? Got her. Anyways, we definitely take turns on taking care of this. The house stays well fed. Shelby usually feeds all of her fish and then jumps in and just starts feeding all the shrimp. So a lot of times I don't even get a chance, and she just likes to cruise through it, and I go behind her and I take a bunch of photos for the week. So it's a great combination, but we rotate through. I think it's like 7 or 8 different types of foods. We use all 4 of the stick brands of the Shrimp Envy foods. So we use the Shell, Growth, Envy, and Food Fight. I said Envy, the complete. So those 4 foods are the ones that we use. We don't use any powdered food, so we don't use the baby or the clay. We do use the barley from time to time, but that's more like a similar food to the snowflake. So we more or less use the snowflake rather than that. So those are our 4 recommended foods. But we feed every other day, and then you feed as much food as you possibly can. That the shrimp will devour all of it within 2 to 3 hours. Any longer than that, and remove the uneaten food and reduce the amount of food you feed next time. And I find that perfect balance. What's up?
There was one hair sticking out. It's bothering me. Sorry. Vibes, thanks for the $1.09 super chat. Said Aquashella Daytona. Get your tickets before they sell out. This one's gonna be a big show, that's for sure.
I'm quite excited. We had a gentle, nice little workation last week with the Southern Aquatic Experience in South Carolina. We were out of that show by 4 o'clock. By like 4:30, we were gone and on the road. The show's over at 3, real quick and easy teardown. Started at 9, so there was no real down or slow part of the day. Really disappointed in the food truck. I don't like hot dogs. Shelby doesn't like hot dogs, and there was only hot dogs. And when I thought of food truck, I was like, oh, there's going to be like a couple different options. And it was just hot dogs. So not something you want to eat when you skip breakfast. But it wasn't bad. The chili was good, at least.
Thank you, Vibes.
Oh,
Mimic said,
thank you, Vibes.
Will Aquashella sell out? So it has done it before, but that was at a small venue when they first started. It wasn't that small. But Daytona Reptile Expo is hosted every year at the same location, and they are always packed. So I doubt that they would sell out again. There's a small possibility, but they are going to be busier than usual. I do say a lot of people are actually going to the show compared to all the other years. It's just got more traction. But I don't think this building is at capacity that their venue, what they usually get. And even if it's $10,000, I think it's still got quite a capacity to hold people.
Yeah, it's a new territory, but I don't think that the venue is small enough that they're going to turn people away like they did in Dallas. 1 year in Dallas, they were at a really small venue, and there was people lined up, and they had to turn people away. So, but you're a volunteer for the shrimp contest, so we will already have you accounted for, and you will not have to worry about getting in. So it was a pleasure getting to meet you at the Southern California. Why did I say California? I knew I was wrong before it even came out. Carolina experience. That was the highlight of the weekend, is getting to meet you, and then seeing SC Catahoula again, and then Anthony, and I don't know his sister's name.
No, I don't know either. I'm terrible.
But yeah, it was great to see you guys. I know there's somebody else that I'm forgetting, but like Sabu, you know what I mean? But I doubt Sabu's watching.
No,
Sabu
you don't have time for that.
So, we just talked about lights, leaving the house and whatnot. So, get timers if you can. The other cool thing that we can get and use are the Casa smart plugs, and that has been really helpful for these past few trips as well, especially now that we're doing a lot more plants. The plants are definitely happier and thanking us for the timers and lights being on while we're on vacation, because in the past for Aquashella is usually the longest we're gone 5 or 6 days, and we just leave the lights off. Only a few racks had timers. But other than that, most of the lights that we have throughout the house are just turned on automatically, not automatically, manually by us when we wake up in the morning, and then we turn them off at night when we decide to go to bed. And we don't want them on timers because we never go to the bed at the same time ever, and we never really wake up at the same time except for Shelby when she's got to wake up for the kids for school. But other than that, like we sleep in until different times. So is everything good?
I've never seen the killifish was so not moving, like the tail was not moving, the fins, and it was just sitting. It was freaking me out.
I thought you saw the bat. I was like, all right, it's time. I'm gonna have to catch a bat, and you're gonna turn the camera, and it's gonna be on live. I don't got the perfect dit net on hand, Shelby. I thought I was gonna have to wrangle a bat. All right, so yeah, we would just leave the lights on when we head out for vacation. So timers are a great thing nowadays. And then, moving forward, all the stands and setups that we have, we will be using the Casa smart plugs. We just got started with that, so don't take our recommendation off the Casa plugs. We haven't been using them long enough to give them like a good recommendation. I've never used a different brand either. All I do know is if you start using one brand, use that same brand throughout the whole house, so you don't have any issues, and everything's right there on one app, and it makes it super easy for you guys to work and turn on and off all your lights and appliances that you run on the same plugs. So, what's up, SC Catahoula? It was great seeing you again this weekend.
Thank you, Vibes Aquatics, for another $1.99 super chat. Says, y'all forgetting me. Vibes, stop it. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm confused on that
never
one.
Forget you.
Never ever. So
wait, you have a bat in the house? We don't know. We're not sure.
There was some weird squeaking noises going on, but then I caught that grasshopper and I haven't heard it since. So I think it was the grasshopper. There was a massive green grasshopper in the house. So I think that's what the squeaking noise was. I don't think we have a bat. I think if we had a bat, there would be some guano somewhere. You know what I mean?
Guppy B said, "Oh, got any more of those volunteer passes?" Right now, I think we have more than enough volunteers. But if someone backs out, I'll let you know. We have to take account and see what's going on because you actually have to work for those volunteer passes. I already have quite a bit of people helping me at the shrimp contest, and we already have quite a bit helping during the show, so it really depends.
But Aquashella might need some volunteers still. So you can send me a message and I can see what they need if anybody out there is looking to help out at Aquashella at all. So we can definitely probably find a place for you.
That was it.
Yeah. All right. So now we mentioned, the four main things is feeding, water change. Oh no, three main things really. It's feeding, water changes, and lights. Like that's really the only care, maintenance and stuff like that. You want to make sure that your filters are running, that none of your filters are clogged or anything like that. If you do have, some Alita air pumps or something like that, maybe give the filters a quick clean or something like that. One thing we do before we leave is replace the air filter for our air conditioning. It can cause a lot of issues if your system gets clogged. It can cause evaporation in your system, and then that could cause the float valve to trip and your AC to shut off, and that's the last thing you want to happen while you're on vacation. And I'm speaking that from experience. It's the worst thing besides the leak in Jaden's room. That's probably happened to date. So we learned, now we just make it a habit of changing that filter before we leave. There's a lot of things like going through the fridge and checking to make sure nothing's going to spoil while you're gone and stuff like that. But tonight we're talking about the aquatics. So as long as you got your lights situated, you've stayed on top of your water changes, your filters are all cleaned, and you didn't overfeed before you left, you stand the best chance at everything. For volunteering, Vibe said. So, were you a volunteer for the Dallas show
Thank you so much
already.
for the $1.99 super chat.
She said, but I had a question. I'm sorry. Were you already a volunteer for the Dallas show? If so, that'll make it a lot easier. I can't remember. I know you were there during the teardown at the end of the show, but I don't know if you were there because you're hanging out with our booth, or if you were there because you're already helping them. I just don't know,
He
honestly.
helped me.
Okay.
Like the whole time.
Okay, that's what it was.
Grant doesn't pay attention, but I remember you helping me. Thank you, Bugs.
I
You
try
were
to
very
pay
helpful.
attention. I have to track down a lot of stuff and all that madness, okay? I run
Sometimes.
logistics.
So J-Dub said the wife and I will be at Aquashella all weekend. Be there Friday. Happy to give a hand or share adult beverage.
Well,
So
I would
just contact us.
Love to have anybody's help that wants to help on Sunday for teardown, because we're going to have a lot of aquariums that we've got to package up for Aquashella for the shrimp contest, and then we've got some tanks that we need to bring home ourselves on top of a bunch of other things that I plan on bringing home. So we actually organized with Fluval for them to, we purchased off of them one of the Scapers tanks, so we could finally fit the last puzzle piece to our tank stands for when you walk in. It's not like the maze that I wanted to left hand turn right when you walk into the front door, but it's mazy. It's got that maziest vibe to it for sure. But leaving for vacation is what we're going to talk about again. But anybody that wants to help Sunday at the end of the day. So when you're leaving on vacation and you got maybe a 5-day vacation or even 7 days, I would not worry about anybody having to feed or take care of any of your fish or shrimp unless you had fry. Fry is like that one thing into the equation that me and Shelby, we just don't know how to figure out. And it's probably best that if you're spawning fish and trying to get mops and stuff like that, that you kind of back off before you go on vacation, so you have less little tiny mouths to worry about. However, there are those, spawns that just happen when the fish want to happen and you really can't control it. And some of those might be rare occurrences, so you really want to make sure those are taken well care of. And you really can't go 7 days without feeding some of the smaller fry, and depending on the species and whatnot. So you're going to have to get a babysitter or a fish fry sitter. I don't know why I wanted to say something else. So with getting a babysitter that you trust to watch your tanks, to watch your dogs, to watch your house in general, it takes a lot of trust. And I do, we're really lucky that we have somebody that lives close by, who doesn't mind doing the hassle task that we ask them to do. Right now, it's honestly just feeding the dogs. There has been a couple situations where he had to step up to the plate and take care of a few things here and there, but he did it without hesitation. And then, you got to make sure that this person is well educated before they have to deal with, a certain situation. So for the hurricane and stuff, when we left, we coached somebody for an entire day on, what they would have to do in a worst case scenario, and all the way through what they'd have to do with the tiniest, most minute things. So, really drilling them, giving them a list, giving them instructions and stuff like that is great. But the best thing that you could possibly do for somebody is make a little tiny YouTube video for themselves, or it doesn't have to be a YouTube video. You can just do a video on your phone and send it to them or something like that. But if you're actually filming and go, hey, this is the tank, this is the food, this is my hand, look how much food is in my hand, it's a pinch, and then just sprinkle it. If you're doing it step by step, chances are that person isn't really going to fail unless they just don't care about you at all, or the fish or anything like that, and they're just not going to watch the video, and then they're just going to dump a bunch of pellets in the tank or something like that. But everybody has been there where they're like, hey, can you feed 4 to 10 pellets a day, and you're gone for 3 to 4 days, and you come home and there's like 100 pellets in the tank, and you're like, the math doesn't add up. How is there this many pellets still left in the tank? You overfed, you know what I mean? So not a lot of people will follow directions, even if you tell them like how many pellets to follow through. So it really is best to just try and not have to worry about somebody altogether. But if you're having to worry about fry and babies, and you're worried about stunted growth and stuff like that, do a video. Even if your video sucks, if you trust this person enough to be in your home, you trust them enough not to go through your stuff, you should trust them enough to have a video of yourself, no matter how dorky it is or how ridiculous your setup or anything looks, because they're going to see it firsthand, and they're going to look at things that you didn't think they're going to look at probably while they're at your house. Like, it's just going to happen. So you just got to make sure that everything is laid out as possible in the video, and they can follow it, and that is really the least amount of error that they're possibly going to have through that situation. So did you have anything to add to that?
No. Thanks again, Vibes, twice for the $1.99 super chat. Said I helped tear down, but I wasn't signed up, and said, Vibes, stop spamming the chat. Thank you so much, Vibes.
Well, I definitely have a spot for you, Vibes, because you have experience with Shelby and you know where everything already was. So
you say that like it's a bad thing. I'm not.
I didn't say it was a bad.
You have experience with Shelby. You know how.
Not experience with Shelby. All right, maybe that did come out wrong. I just didn't realize it.
I am a little bossy when it comes to work. I like things in a particular way. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I was efficient, and that's why I become a manager of every place. I'm very nice, and I do say thank you. I'm just a little bossy.
So you already know what you're getting yourself into. You already know the vibe, So, yeah, it's vacation. I don't know where we're going with this, all right? Sometimes we get a little bit off, and then we got to bring it back. And then you got to come back from vacation, right? And what does everybody want to do when they get back from vacation?
Sleep.
Yeah, that's true. That hit hard. That was heavy. Like, that is like the first thing. And sometimes it's eat. We've had times like, all right, we're home. Everything's inside. We've unpacked the car, food, and then sleep. Like, immediately. So yeah, it's either one of those two things, or the bathroom. Like, let's be honest, like that the last 3 hours were a rush, right? So Indian food, am I right? It was a great weekend though. But when you get home, I have a little routine. We've had a worst case scenario. We've had little tiny leaks and spills while we've been gone, especially at the Keystone Clash. We just had the 55-gallon tank sprung a leak. Her dad had to jump into action, took care of everything. We still haven't fixed the tank. Been busy, all right?
There's still like 20 gallons of water in it.
And they're just CPDs. They don't need that much water, and there's not that much in there. But if you want to buy them, they're still available on the website at tgoeshrimp.com. Free plug.
Save the fish.
No, they don't need to be saved. They don't say it like that. But I do like to walk around the entire house when I first get home and make sure that there is no water on the floor. The worst thing would be that a tank completely drained. That is a little bit worse than I think finding the water on the floor in Jaden's room. That was a hot water leak that bursted through the floor, and so it was under the ground. And then we had an issue with our pool where it came disconnected from the filter, but like we didn't lose any fish. We just got green water. So other than that, we've been really successful leaving the house and coming to. You want to make sure that you check all the tanks. If it's 4 o'clock in the morning though, or 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to just like turn on all the lights to your aquariums. Use a really dull light or like a room light or something like that isn't too bright, to kind of just glance through your aquariums to make sure you don't see any dead bodies anywhere. And then also, uh, when you do go to feed your shrimp or your fish or whatever, do not feed like they have not eaten for 6 days. Feed them like you normally would. If anything, feed a little bit lighter than you usually would. And get them back into the swing. If you feed them a bunch, they will eat it. And it's not good for them. They'll bloat up. They'll get sick. You just want to feed them a normal amount and get them back into the swing of things. Fish go weeks without eating all the time. It's not uncommon for droughts and stuff like that where there just isn't a lot of insects or anything like that falling into the water for the fish to eat and stuff. So it's not that common that they'll go quite a few days or a week or weeks without eating. So it's not a necessity for your fish to be fed while you're on vacation. It is more important that your fry and stuff like that do get fed. But they can go quite a bit of time without being fed themselves. Just each species is different. So you want to kind of weigh that risk reward on getting that fry sitter and not have them fried and sitting in ammonia.
I find this really funny. Coro said, Shelby, do you think your fish missed you as much as your dog or cat when you're on vacation? I said, I said no, they don't. They're just hungry. They honestly are. But I said I just pretend that they do.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, you guys missed me so much.
The koi though. The koi were ridiculous.
Oh, they were hilarious. They actually looked like almost like a wave runner coming out of the water with their mouths. Like, oh.
They all noticed them at the same time, and they were all swimming like on top of each other's tails. It was ridiculous.
They were just hungry though. Just give me food. They're so.
And then jump back into like water changes as you normally would, and then that's. Honestly, all I really have for your vacation trips. If you had like a tank crash or something like that, watch last week's video, and that'll help you out with that. I do have a list of things that I would like to go over and talk about.
What did you say about bugs? I've said so, guys. Release bugs in your house before leaving.
I was talking about in the nature that the fish, the drought, there's not bugs falling in and stuff like that. But I mean, if you have lids on your tanks, like I said, the bugs are not going to help. So
thank you, Bubs. Talking on Super Chat again.
I'm really excited to see you in 2 weeks. It's going to be a great time.
Soup Dog said, my wife talks to our Amazon puffers every day like they can hear her. I will always. I talk to my dog who is deaf. And I think he can hear me. Like, I feel like he could just feel my energy when I'm being, like, really nice to him.
or the people that come to the house and we're like, he's deaf. And then they're super extra with the voices still. And it's like, he can't hear you.
I swear, he can hear me. Like, I there's so many people that'll be like, he can hear. And I'm like, no. I mean, we had this argument when he was about a year old. It's kind of like, it wasn't that far into it, but like it felt like it was about a year when we realized for sure. And Grant had gotten like pots and pans. It was waiting for him to be asleep out back. And we swung the door open and Grant's just banging the pots. And I'm just like, that dog ain't moving. It ain't moving at all. There's no way. Like, it's definitely cannot hear anything. I mean, that would have scared any normal person. I mean, like, he doesn't care about fireworks, nothing. So, like, and those actually cause vibrations. Like, he can only be alert by, like, sights, and that's, like, if he's not sleeping, obviously.
But somehow, if you yell at him loud enough with a deep enough voice, he feels it in his soul, and he knows something happened. And he's like, okay, I saw the mouth drop. Something must be going on. So he's aware of loud yelps, but that's about it. Yeah, no whistles or high-pitched noises whatsoever, that's for sure. So maybe there's certain tones and frequencies he can hear, but not all of them. So
it's funny though, we came home the other night and we're always wondering because people are like, your dog's kind of scary when you're gone, and we're like, I mean, he barks, I mean, he's not that scary, they get home the other night at like an unusual time for us. Usually it's like either the morning or weird times, but he was going berserk and jumping, barking, growling, and I'm standing there like this dog sounds scary as can be. So I could understand why no one would want to come up.
And then we opened up the door and he was like, "You guys? You're usually gone for way longer. This has been a day. You're not supposed to be back for like 2 days." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was all confused. Like, yeah, I thought Dante was going to be feeding me for another 2 days at least. But yeah, he's a character.
Scuba Steve said, "What's the best Halloween themed shrimp?" We should keep this, and he's just gonna have to wait for the short to come out. Maybe tomorrow or the next day. That's my favorite one.
It's the abominable snowman, for sure, by far. I'm telling you, I'm going with the Yeti, the abominable snowman, super crystal ghost bees. Okay, but you're probably gonna say ghost shrimp because you're a rookie, right? Right? Is that where he's going with it? No.
Well, that's where I was. That was rude of you. That's where I was going with it. That was extremely rude. But now I don't even feel bad. Stephen Lee said Grant's dog's voice is on point.
Yeah.
He really
can't
just sounds
hear,
like Shaggy.
but he knows he sounds like that.
She sounds like a weird human. Like,
but
oh.
You'll find out in like 20 minutes
King
why
Kong.
that isn't a good joke, Scuba Steve. If you haven't heard that one yet. And isn't it on your shirt? You gotta show the shirt off tonight.
Oh.
Come on.
Sorry.
It's all the way down at the bottom because they don't care about shrimp at all.
Oh my gosh.
See, there is a ghost. But
That's
it's a
just
shrimp.
regular ghost shrimp, though.
Yep.
No one cares about that. This is all Halloween related. You got your vampire squid over here, your batfish, you got your mermaid in the center. I can't see the rest. It's the wizard axolotl.
The vampire crab, you got the glass cats.
I don't know what this betta fish is supposed to be. A princess? Princess betta?
A splendid king. King splendid. Queen
Vampire
splendid.
crab. I don't know the rest. I didn't get that far into it. We've had this for 3 years now.
And then I've got the carved
2
pumpkin
years.
from Saltwater Aquariums. But
We got so many Halloween shirts from Aquashell.
I wanted to wear
It's
my
crazy.
axolotl with a witch's hat for the staff shirts, but I had 3 of them. I must have worn them all this week. They're so comfortable. This one's not comfortable.
Alberto says vampire shrimp would just be fine. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you all have gummies before the live stream? No. No edibles, unfortunately.
None for her ever. So
I wouldn't even want to know how it would affect me, honestly.
we did
I'd be
have
crying.
a slight off-topic request tonight. Not really a request, but I just decided not to answer it via message. And I said I'll talk about this on the live stream tonight because it's a lot easier for me to talk and discuss it. And it also goes with what you just said. Bring it back up. The orange-eyed red devils.
It
So-
would be a great Halloween costume.
It would. But
I'm going to have to make that now.
the topic, though, is about
For
the
next.
genetics and what goes into it and what exactly the rest of his question. I don't know what was retaining to it. So ask the rest of the question behind it. But pretty much I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about what goes into an orange-eyed red devil. So obviously the basic answer is orange-eyed blue tigers. They are the heart and key to all orange eyes out there. And then there's another one, which Dee Dee just brought up. If you bring up Dee Dee's, is the hollowed eyes, the red ghost. There are a black ghost variety of them as well. But this is a different eye mutation altogether. Did it mutate from the orange-eyed blue tigers or where it mutated from? I honestly have no idea. I don't know where it came from at all. We have like a weird red eye and then a weird blue eye in our cheetah hybrid colony. But other than that, they're not producing any other offspring that look like that or anything else. So very weird, and I don't know if that gene has been able to be mutated and passed down. As far as I know, those are the only two gene mutations out there that can be replicated. The orange eyes have all different colors from yellow to orange to silver if there's no chitin or chitin in the diet. They will lose actual eye color. And then, there are other eyes out there for the neocaridina that, have like orange pigment, white pigment, purple, red, for the auroras and stuff like that. But usually the pupil, the inside of the eye, is still black in different colorations. So it's not a true orange eye like the orange eye blue tigers and all of their hybridized forms.
Scuba says, so what's my yellow King Kong and blue steel hybrid called? Is it that a Tybee, or what would that be called?
Technically, it is actually a Tybee, but like honestly, no, because I don't like calling anything that doesn't have the double pigment a Tybee. So I would call it a Tybee. It's also a Tang Tai. It's got many names, but I would just call it a red Tybee to be safe because without being able to like prove it with crossing, it just looks like any other Tybee. So that's what I like to use for the references and stuff like that. But back to the Red Devils, though, the orange-eyed blue tigers, and then crossed with what most people used was the yellow King Kong to try and make the hybridized orange-eyed varieties faster, because the yellow King Kong genetics and everything like that are so hardy, they breed so fast and quick, so they're trying to pass that on. And that is why one of the very first phenotypes of the orange eyes that came out were the orange-eyed yellow King Kongs. These guys are, and there's other orange-eyed, like weird-looking tigers and stuff like that that aren't pure, but like for the most part, the orange-eyed yellow King Kong was the first stable, solid phenotype that was released on the market. But the orange-eyed red devil was kind of like right around the corner. So I don't honestly know which one came first, because in the United States, sometimes we get the cheaper culls. And when I first got our first batch of orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, they actually were sold as orange-eyed red devils. And then they described to me as like, oh, these are just coming out of the red devils. So I don't honestly know which ones came first, but the two of them really did come out right around the same time. So the genetics are probably similar. But when I talked about the hollow eye red ghosts, I crossed some of those with the black tiger orange eye and the second generation, because first generation of offspring, all of them are going to have normal eye. But the second cross, when you cross back with some of the original parents or they cross back with themselves, you will have some offspring that will have the eye morphs of not just the orange eye, but also the hollow eye. So having that, we went through and actually had some of the phenotypes that look just like orange-eyed red devils. So I don't know if that's how they made the original orange-eyed red devil, or if they use, some red King Kong crossed in with the orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, and then try to make out something with the double pigment, and they fell short with the red devils. The red devils is still gorgeous red pigment, but it's still not quite that double thick layer of shell like a Taiwan bee is. So that's why they're not orange-eyed red King Kongs, because that would be reserved for a mutation of the red King Kong itself. So that's like when right now we're working on something that looks like, and this is more Shelby's project than mine, is the orange-eyed tangerine tigers. They're not really orange-eyed tangerine tigers because it's not a mutation from the tangerine tiger. It's more like an orange-eyed. You'd have to call it something. You can't call it tangerine, so you could call it like a kumquat tiger or something like that.
That is not what I would call it.
Listen, you come
That
up with
would
your
be
own
the
fruit
last
names,
one.
all right? But pumpkin's taken. Like, there's a lot of orange fruits that are just gone. They're already taken. You can't. Like, Think of one. You got
Okay.
5 seconds. 5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2.
Mm-mm.
See, they're gone. They're taken. Kumquat it is.
Low quat. A little bit closer the color. Well, not the color I'm achieving, the color that I'm receiving.
Is carrot a fruit?
Yeah.
I didn't want to go carrot's not a fruit,
But
Cosmin, but now I'm like guessing myself because like there's so many
what's
things.
Satsuma? That sounds cool. Did I just say a bad word though? I should really watch that. You know how like those people fall for saying things all the time? That's what I. That's a place in Florida. Oh, a mandarin.
But oh yeah, Mandarin's another good name. I honestly was
Mandarin
trying to
would be a
think of
really good
something, and
name.
then I was like, it's not tangerine, it's not orange. And I'm like, yeah, it's kumquat. Like I was like, for sure that was
Ripe
it.
habanero.
Mandarin is the other one.
Sriracha is what I would call them because they're spicy.
Or we call them orange sherbet tigers, and we get the sherbet out there. Like I've been trying forever.
Coral asked, "Are there any black and red shrimps, like a red backline on a black body or similar?" I
Not
can
like
make
that.
Those, though.
Not.
I think I can make those.
It's
Black King
possible.
Kongs with red steels.
We have some like
Cloves.
fancy red tigers that have black stripes on top of the red stripes. We also have some red King Kongs that are so red that they're a little bit black, but not like a solid layer of red on top of like a defined split in the colors or something like that. That isn't really out there yet.
Seriously, so many people know about this, and I've never heard of it before. They're big in Louisiana, apparently, too. So, like, that's insane. We're gonna
How
have
did
to
I
try
not think
one.
of mango? Like, what's wrong with me? How did nobody? Oh, there's somebody else got mango. I'm not reading chat, so. But like, how did I
Better
not
than
think
a
about mango?
tangerine.
No, done. It's mango tigers, orange-eyed mango tigers. Wait, yeah, because the yellow tigers is fine. The orange ones.
Yeah,
would be
instead
mango.
of tangerine tigers, it would be
The
mango
yellow
tigers.
could be banana tigers. Layla would be happy.
Her and the banana. She saw one in my purse today, and she goes, "Dude's got a banana in her purse," and I was like, "Stop calling me dude, first of all." And she's like, "You're always prepared," and I'm like, "Oh," she's like, "Can I have it?" She's so weird.
All right, bring up Mimic's question now.
Mimic said, "Grant, you know my project. My interest is orange-eyed red devils is how they would play into the mix. I'm wondering if they are a distant sideline that could work, or if using them would be taking 2 steps back."
I don't think they're gonna help with your project. I don't think it would also hurt your project. You could use those instead of your orange-eyed tigers. You wouldn't necessarily be benefiting yourself from adding them. They don't have any pattern, and they don't like you're trying to go for like the boa pattern. They don't have that. They don't have the double pigmentation that like an orange-eyed blue steel would have. So you might get your best bet would be adding some orange-eyed blue steels, because the blue steel is also a close relative to the boa. Almost all galaxy pintos will throw steels, whether blue or red or both. So I would try those to try and get your white double pigments. All the genetics are technically there. You need to get like a black, which you already have, your black tigers, and cross those with like an orange-eyed blue steel. I think would be like your shortest route, besides like doing the hard work. Like I think you might be able to shortcut it a little bit with orange-eyed blue steels, but I think if you started from scratch and you do what you're already doing and you just selective breed to get the right patterns, you'll get a nicer result in the very end. If that makes sense. You weren't listening.
Nope.
I can't ask.
Garcia said, "Can't wait to see you guys this weekend." I didn't want to yell. I know exactly the loudness you're saying this, though. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to going fishing in the morning. I'm looking forward to going collecting all night. I ain't sleeping this weekend, except for 2 hours. I promise Shelby 2 hours.
At least
2 hours a
something,
night.
because we have Aquashella the next week, and that's gonna be
I'll
crazy.
sleep on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'll wake up for the live stream. Don't you worry. But that's about it. I'll help you with orders. and
Yeah,
I'll
you
sleep the
better.
rest.
Crazy. I'm excited too. It's not like I'm not gonna be out there suffering as well, because I want it just
A
as
little
bad.
bit cooler.
I just
not
know
as
that we
many
need sleep.
mosquitoes. Come out.
Uh,
About it. All night. We're getting a snakehead or a knife fish. Or we're not leaving Miami.
we're so competitive that I swear I'm gonna get it first. I gotta get it. I got that bass. I was super excited. I was like, I'm gonna get it. Every time you got out of the car to try to go catch a bass, I looked at Mark and I'm like, I'm going to get it. And I ran out, grabbed the net, and I was like, I'm getting it first. And I got that. Those are hard to catch. They really are. They're very fast, and you really need a tag team with someone to get it.
So yes, absolutely, Richard. I know that Mark and Ryan, I almost called it Lugas. It's Logan and Magnus. Lugas. I'm morphing them together now. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple other with us, but I already assumed you were going to be in the group coming out with us. I think you went last year and I didn't, because I was an idiot and I didn't know what I was missing. But now I know,
Right.
and I ain't missing
I
nothing.
knew what we were missing.
And I'll suffer. But like, I was like in desperate need
we
of
were
sleep last year.
Richard was sitting with us in the lobby when everyone left.
He went one of the nights though, I believe. He couldn't do both nights, which I understand. When we did the 3 nights in a row,
Mhm.
I'm only 30. Like, that's the only reason why we're able to do it. When we're 40, I can probably only do 2 nights, and I'm older than that. I don't think I can do anything else. Like 42, I'm maybe 1 night.
Tube Dog said Grant's trying to breed names together now. But if you knew these 2 kids that are awesome, but they're just like thick as thieves, and I think they've made the joke about like if they're gonna still be single and not married by the time they're like certain age, they're just gonna marry each other as a complete joke. But like it's just funny now to call them that, and that's what we're gonna have to call them this weekend.
And I might like evolve and like mix names together, but like Shelby is infamous for like taking 2 names and like mixing up letters of the first word for the names. So we have a buddy of mine who has a nursery, and then his wife has an aviary. She raises birds, and together their name is Greg and Helen. But Shelby one day called me up and he goes, "Are you still at Hagen Grellin's house?" And I'm like, "What did you just say?" And she's like, "Hagen Grellin's, are you still there?" And I'm like, "What did you just call Greg and what did you just call Helen?" It was hilarious.
I met them several times.
But now
people.
I cannot say, "Hey, I'm going to Hagen Grellin's" without saying Hagen Grellin's, or I'll try to say it like the wrong way on purpose, and I'll say it the right way, and I'll be like, "God dang, I missed it out."
Yeah. Hilarious.
But
June said, "Will you be adding more Neo Reallys to your website?" This has been what's funny is Reallys kind of died for several years where no one really wanted them, and now it's a constant thing that people are asking. So
I really want them, huh?
Yeah, really. So we have plans to work on them, and
Amish?
I mean we kind of do have.
No, I miss.
So we do have plans on working with them. I have plans on getting some carbon Reallys. Like realistically, if someone absolutely had to have carbon Reallys, I could get you some for sure. But that will be a task. So depends on how many you do.
Go ahead, put the orders in.
But yeah, we definitely have some tanks of them, but we just haven't produced enough to put them on the website yet.
So the red release, I showed Shelby last night, went around, fed the whole house, took pictures, and I was like, "Look at the red Riley tank." And then I was like, "Look at the tank right next to it." And she's like, "Where did all those shrimp come from?" And I'm like, "I threw a couple in there. They made some babies, and they kind of exploded." So the red Rillies are back on the website. If it's just the Coles and I didn't put red Rillies on the website also, somebody tell me, and I'll go back and add red lilies on the website. I think they're ready. There isn't a lot of them. There is a very small amount. The oranges, we just got some at the Keystone Clash, and then we brought some in from outside, but I need to get like another tank working. I have been holding some for Chattanooga Ed, and I swear I tried to give him to him one day. I think like his mom or he had family in town. I can't remember. Chattanooga Ed, if you're watching this, you want some orange release, I have some for you. But that's like the only batch I'm willing to give up. Everybody else, they shouldn't be too much longer. But they're all inside now, so they shouldn't have like a summer lull. But the blue release, we haven't really put much thought into them. But you can put Shelby to work. That's some thought.
I definitely have plenty of carbon release. I just don't do anything with them. I just leave them in the tubs.
I swore Richard.
Shouldn't.
I swore Richard had gone the first night. And,
No.
Yeah.
We spent the whole night talking to Richard. We
Which-
could have went out collecting.
which
We
is
were trying to go
probably-
to bed or something, but we got.
Which is probably why I
Had a
didn't
good
go collecting,
conversations.
because I was like, I'm talking and chilling out with Richard already.
Yeah.
I don't need to go anywhere. Like this is where I'm at. This is fine.
Cora, it's like getting a room at the West Western. We just stayed at a Best Western. Big Steve said, "Can I take fancy red tigers to Galaxy Pinto? Is that possible? If so, how would you do it? Buy Galaxy Pintos."
All right. So here's the thing. There's two things that make Galaxy Pintos, and then there's two things that make Fancy Tigers, and neither one of them are the same things. So you would really have to add everything into the Fancy Tigers. You know what I mean? So the Fancy Tigers have Caridina Maria, they need Caridina Serrata, and then they have the Crystal Caridina, but they need the double pigment, so you have to cross in some Taiwan bees. So it's like if you were to cross in both of those things, you'd just be reverted back to like Thai bees, and then you have to cross back with the Taiwan bee to get the Thai bees, and then it would take you like several generations to make your own Galaxy Pintos. So you're better off buying some Galaxy Pintos and crossing with your Fancy Tigers, and you're going to get a mix of Galaxy Pintos and then what I was calling advanced Fancy Tigers. I don't know if that's stick. I need somebody else to like say it before I can like, oh yeah, that's a thing, right? I don't have enough recognition to just start naming shrimp. But they're not real true Fancy Tigers, if you ask me. I'm a stiffler for pure genetics and stuff like that. So you'd have a bunch of Thai bees, Thai bees. You'd get Nanashi, you'd get Pintos, you'd get Steels, you'd get a bunch of stuff from crossing Fancy Red Tigers with Galaxy Pintos. But like, do it. I'm doing it. There's a tank right up there that's got them right now in two different tanks, just because Benny Tay said that that's how he got his Galaxy Pintos that don't have any backline in them, and that's his Snowfall Galaxy Pintos that the Sam Scales print is of. So like, you know, huh?
It's right there.
Oh, it's right there. It's
Mhm.
right here.
It's
You have
fine.
something handy? We have both of the things handy. Would you believe it or not? So this is Benny Tay's. I don't know why I'm like trying to like talk to you guys by like leaning
Mhm.
down. I can talk to you behind the mic, but his has no backline from head to toe. So he said that was a mutation that he got by crossing back with the Fancy Red Tigers. And if you would look at Shelby's non-snowfall, just normal Galaxy Pintos, right?
Wow.
They have the fishbone pattern, which is, I can't see through the print here, but that line going down and then those stripes right there make what look like a fishbone. So,
Ooh, I got a better picture of that too.
okay. Well, I thought you were going to say you could do it better than me. And I was like, I think that was pretty good representation of what I was trying to talk
No,
about.
I just got a better picture of the fish bones because we always talk about the fish bones and don't really have good photos of the fish bone, but I do have a good photo of the fish bones.
That's
No,
not a
it's
fishbone.
not a good phone.
I thought you
Ah.
I thought you were gonna bring that up. I'm like, that's not a fishbone.
No.
That's just a regular Galaxy Pinto.
Yeah, that was the only one.
All right. I got a great picture of the back line, but it's not a fishbone either.
So carbon relays are neos. I get those mainly from my blue diamond line. Just throwing them out there. Don't want to leave them in there usually because they could create like more mutts. But they are cool, so they'll have like a darker head, clearish. They'll sometimes have blue stripes in the center and then a dark tail. You could work to make it like real dark and then real clear and darker on the tail. But most of my carbon relays are going to have like some stripes of blue in the center of them.
Since you really want to talk about rillies, you've got your red rillies, your basic run-of-the-mill rillies, but then you've got red rillies with blue bodies instead of clear bodies. Then you've got blue rillies, which are blue on the head and the tail and light blue or clear body in the middle. And then you've got carbon rillies, which blue rillies come from Blue Dreams, and then carbon rillies come from the Blue Diamond line or Black Rose line. It can come from either or. And then the carbon rillies could be either blue or black in the middle, or blue or clear. Like there's a lot of different variations of carbon rillies. And then you also have the orange rillies, which can be clear, or we have some that actually have like a greenish hint to them in the middle, but that could be diet. It's still like you kind of gotta like force feed them soy hoy on white substrate to really like prove that they're green. I think I don't know how that's going to play out, but and then on top of that, we do now have actual green rillies out there. These are all the actual stable lines. In theory, there's yellow rillies, but there really isn't any yellow rilly lines out there that are stable or that I've ever seen, or at least in the United States. Maybe they have them over in Asia, but they have not made their way here yet. And then the I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you said red, blue.
Yeah. What did Mimic say?
Goodness gracious. Mimic said, since I don't have 400 plus tanks, would it be beneficial to add a little mineral supplement to my tiger tanks after my Caridina water changes to keep their TDS a bit higher?
So I would personally keep my, and when you shouldn't say mineral supplement, because that could mean like a couple of other things. That could be like a mineral food. That could be like the Monty, the mineral clay. You're talking like actual adding more salt to the water. We do have the optimal chart out. Shout out Crypt Keeper. He made those. We do have to edit them with a new logo. We are working on that. It is looking incredible, by the way. Shelby got the font on point, and then there's just a little artwork we're tuning up on the piece, and I think it's going to be fabulous. Hopefully we can get it done before Aquashella, but if not, we're still going to try and get different stickers. But what was it talking about? I'm so scatterbrained. I blame
Mineral
Stephen T.
supplement.
All right, so if I were to make like a tiger only tank, which is something that we're possibly going to not like tiger only, but we're going to do a high TDS rack where we would keep the whole rack at 220 TDS for like the Calcios and the super red tigers. Alan is breeding those at the higher TDS and having great success. So I'd like to do at least an entire row of one of the new racks that we're going to set up with the higher TDS and then one with the lower TDS. But I would surely keep some tigers, the super tigers for sure. Those who kind of like slowed down and dropped on me, and the Aurora blue tigers. I would love to try those out in some higher TDS and hope that they get breeding a little bit more, grow a little bit faster, or even higher baby survival rate. I'll take any of those three. So yeah, if you don't have that many tanks and it's optimal for you, I would do it. It's just a little hard for us to stay on top of maintenance and mix up the water a little bit differently for everything. And then I forget which trash can is which, and then it's more testing. I just like the fact that they're all done and ready the next day. So.
Shady Grady said, my fancy red tigers threw all red shrimp with white eyes, legs, and dots on their tails, fins. What do you call those? I sent you a picture.
All right, let me check this picture out. Hold on. Where'd you send the picture?
Maybe email? No, the art email.
Okay, gotcha. Hold on, bear with us. I still don't see it.
It might take a little bit.
Yeah, resend me the picture or say something in the chat. That would help me out because I don't currently see anything. But the fancy red tigers, as long as you didn't throw in anything else, then they're gonna just breed more fancy red tigers. So, yeah, just send me an updated message because I don't see anything right now. But if it was a couple days ago or something like that, we were busy traveling and tearing everything down. So I don't see anything from today.
He said Messenger.
Yeah, I'm in Messenger.
Oh, it's your phone.
Oh.
His phone's been having problems. I'll switch over with mine. Lando will be going live after us. So if you are still up and ready to go, why is my phone making that color? That's weird.
I have no idea.
Go check out Fishing Outdoors with Lando. Said I'll probably be on for 1 to 2 hours. Now my phone's not working.
All right.
It just doesn't like you.
Well, basically two things. One is we usually go through and pick out the best comment, and then last live stream, I kind of mentioned that I was looking for jokes, that I would have a little soft spot for jokes and the best jokes and whatnot. It's just one of those things. There we go.
Finish your sentence.
So that's a tie beat. But basically, we go through the comments every 2 weeks, and I pick out the best one. The jokes came in. A lot of them I had heard before. A lot of them, it just didn't quite cut the. Man, I don't know what I'm trying to say at all. Didn't make the cut. There you go. And so the one that I think wins is what do shrimp wear when they cook? A prawn. All right.
That was the worst delivery of a joke.
It was horrible. It's lame. It was corny. Whatever. But I'd never heard it before, and I've heard all of them. Everyone from Prawn Broker to Prawn Star to Prawn Wars. You name it. If you could spin something off a prawn, somebody has pitched it to me, but I have somehow not heard that one. So Crypt Keeper, you are the winner. But that then leaves us to another dilemma. Crypt has all of the prints that we had. Like, why would Crypt Keeper need another print? So, Crypt, I'll send you something else. But, like, let's still give away this print. And since I was already ragging on Shelby's Galaxy print, let's go ahead. Oh, no, this isn't one of our giveaway prints, is it? Never mind, I lied.
We can still give it away.
Nah. Give away one of the other prints. Those are the ones Sam wants us to give away. So we still got some. We'll hand those out. We go through and hashtag Crypt Keeper. Since he's not here, give him a little shout out. Check out his channel. Super passionate about the hobby, from shrimp to planted tanks. This guy is really into it. Goes out of his way for not just us, but other people in the community. Overall, great guy. And he's well informed because he watches our channel all the time. But he, he's someone that we'd love to support. And hashtag Crypt Keeper will get you a print that, he could have won. But, he already has it, so I'm not giving it to him. Unless you want one for somebody else as a gift, I will give you one still, Crypt Keeper, but we're going to give one away anyways. So, hashtag Crypt Keeper, and I'll give that after our next announcement. Did you have anything else for me? Or should I dive into this next announcement?
You can just dive in.
All right. So, This weekend we have the Aquatic Expo in South Florida, but then the following weekend we have Aquashella, Daytona, and of course Shelby and myself. We host. What?
Did you answer Shady about his shrimp?
No, that's why I said. Did you
I'm
have
sorry.
something else? And you said no. Just go on. So now I'll do this, and then we'll get back to you, Shady. I apologize. So, all right, now we run the shrimp contest for Aquashella. Currently, there isn't a lot of entries. We have a lot of our big players, our big timers, who some of them have issues at home with medical. Some of them just have not had time to keep up on top of their colonies. And then, others are just unable to compete and enter in shrimp at this time. So a lot of the big dogs are sitting this one out. We do have, a couple of the heavy hitters still entering, so you still got to bring your A game if you're going to want to enter in the contest. But there are probably a few categories that might be looking a little empty. On Thursday, I'll go through and check out the list. But if you want, feel free to reach out to one of us to see, hey, maybe we have, only 2 people that entered the orange eye category, or 2 people that entered, or 1 person that entered Taiwan bees or something like that. It happens from time to time. You can almost guarantee yourself a spot unless somebody doesn't enter in last minute, and which happens also all the time, because you never know what you're going to be able to enter. Something might happen or come up and you're not able to find the exact shrimp that you want to enter at the time. So that is why we leave signups open all the way into the last possible minute that we need to know how many tanks to set up. So if you enter in the shrimp contest, it does give you a VIP access to the shrimp show for both days. So you just have to have your best 3 to 5 shrimp per group. You can enter 2 groups per category. It is $25 to enter, and you must have your shrimp turned in either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. On Friday by 5 o'clock. That way we can get them entered in the tanks and then judged on Saturday morning. And then Sunday, I believe, I still need to talk with Adam about this, but I think I'll be announcing the shrimp awards after my talk. I'm speaking on Sunday at 2 p.m. I think that's why they scheduled my talk on that time. So, and I will be giving away a fluval aquarium on the stage, which I am scaping. And if, we're not unable to get a tank from who, I'll just use that as the people's choice, and I'll give it away on the stage. So, I'll be giving away a fluval tank guaranteed, as well as some other shrimp goodies, some salts and stuff like that to get somebody started or just keep them going, keep them running in the hobby. But it'll be a different shrimp talk than what I'm usually giving. This one will be more about keeping shrimp, keeping them alive, keeping them together. Rather than me talking about Thai bees and Thai bees and the individual parameters for everything. Like, I'm going to break it down into 2 different types of shrimp, and you guys can, ask questions and stuff. But, I'm excited for the talk, excited for Aquashella. But the shrimp contest, most importantly, is like a huge stage for us to put on the shrimp hobby to the masses. So even if you don't have shrimp that are stunners and guaranteed to enter in the contest, it still helps out the hobby. You'll be surprised how many people are there, like, just for saltwater, and don't even realize that the hobby has these cute little dwarf freshwater shrimp that are so colorful and easy to take care of, compared to their saltwater reefing systems, especially. So now back to you, Shady. So these full dark double pigment Thai bees is what you're getting from your fancy red tigers. So we talked about this on the Fancy Red Tigers, is pretty much all of the breeders overseas took shortcuts in order to thicken that pigment up with the Fancy Tigers. And what they did was they crossed them with some Taiwan bees. So the picture that you sent me, those are the Thai bees that are popping up from the Taiwan bee crosses. Now, there's breeders that swear they never did it, and it just shows up no matter what. So I've been breeding out some, and then like we just recently posted on Instagram, one of our fancy tigers has some cooler color striping. It's an F2. Not quite the 10 generations in that you need to put the work in to get really nice fancy red or black tigers, but eventually I'm hoping that I'll be able to prove them all wrong and be like, hey, you guys all cheated, took shortcuts, and we need to hold ourselves to higher standards here as customers in the United States, so that way we stop getting burned on these genetics and poor quality low grade shrimp. So not hating on all imports, but sadly, that's just like one of the big cases that happens is we get washed out, cheated genetic shrimp where they may look like they were the shrimp that you're supposed to get, but the genes are mudded, and it shows once you've crossed and bred the shrimp out a generation or two. So not only that, but they're more prone to disease and stuff like that. So even if they are cheaper, you kind of get what you paid for, and sadly, some people are finding that out.
Easy V Rider said, so you think the red calcios would do better with higher TDS? I've been keeping the orange-eyed blue tigers at a higher TDS. I'm at 180 for them and slowly raising it each water change. So you think 220 TDS?
So personally, we have at least five tanks. I know 3 of them are red calcio and 2 of them are black calcio. The 2 tanks with black calcio are breeding like fine and have always bred like no problem at all and 150 TDS. Never had any issues. And then we've been getting colony after colony of calcios from buying these shrimp rooms and other people getting out of the hobby and stuff like that. And we've always tried to adapt them to our 150 TDS parameters. And I think somebody was even keeping them at like 110. But I do know that Alan, and then I think even Shrimp Envy, who they're famous for their calcios, they keep theirs at a higher TDS. So we're just like at that point where we're considering possibly keeping them. But Allen's calcios are still alive and already bred for us at 150 TDS. So will they do better at 220? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find that out. But I do think the tigers and some of the shrimp do a little bit better with the more minerals in the water. And the tiger shrimp, almost all of them, I think, they're more aggressive. They breed faster. Maybe they molt more and stuff like that. So not all tiger shrimp breed faster. The Auroras and the orange-eyed blue tigers are an exception to that. Also, anybody a lawyer out there? We crossed our orange-eyed yellow King Kongs with our super tigers, and they kind of made some Super Saiyan tigers because they got the orange-eyed or the tangerine tiger genetics and the super genetics. But I don't want to call them Super Saiyan tigers and then get copyright or cease and desist letters. So what's the deal on Saiyan? Can we use that name? Is that a good name? I don't know. Somebody should comment down below. I won't read chat, so I don't know. Am I too young for this? Too old for that? One of those.
You're somewhere in between at this point. Scuba said, I got the fish shows on lock. Been considering taking over the shrimp contest too. I would like to see it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got some blue steels and they're showing some nice grade, you can enter those into the tie bee, but you're entering those up against the boas. So,
Toop Dog, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, Grant, don't forget to hit me up and think about that message I sent you.
Oh, definitely, dude. We've just been so busy, and I feel so bad. I really do. I've been meaning to type up something, and it's so much easier for me to talk and do that kind of thing out here. But this isn't the time or place to go over all of that. So one day I'll do it proper justice for you.
Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. John
I'm
Morgan,
gonna have to do it now. He paid me. That's time out of my day tomorrow. I'll try and get that done.
John Morgan, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Says, how's the reef tank coming? That is, we don't talk about the reef tank. I'm just kidding. No, we just haven't had the time, and
I
then
will
we
say
missed out
this.
on it.
The garage is kind of coming along, and eventually, once the garage is done, if there isn't a crocodile in all the corners, yeah, we almost came home with a Cayman crocodile, dwarf Cayman croc. Sorry. I'm a fiddler. Yeah, it's quite possible that in the future we'll have a couple of those. We've got to get the permit. Layla said that's what she wants for a Christmas present, is us to get the permit for the crocodile. So, yeah, that's a possibility, but I do really want a reef tank, and I don't think the best place for it is in the garage. So what I'm thinking is one of those 6 tanks we aquascape a macro algae aquarium. And maybe it's not full salt, but it's a step in the right direction, isn't it? I think that's where we should be at. But I hope you guys are doing all right. It's nice to see you in chat.
Sorry. It is nice to see. So I was reading another comment.
What other comment? You got to bring it up.
Chiller Method said, "Here's your joke winner. Being a fish keeper in Cali, the pickings are so slim I started looking on OnlyFans for a girlfriend, but then I realized I don't even know if fish are into people." That's good.
It's a little late. I'm sorry. It's a little late, but it's not bad.
That's a good one.
So I do have a couple other announcements.
I'm not a lawyer, and I'm too old for Dragon Ball Z, but I like the name. Sorry. What?
All right, so we do have some headless horsemen available. They are $15 each. They are just the yellow King Kongs, but they don't have any color on their head. Given the headless horseman, right? The perfect name. And they're $15 each. Somebody wanted 10 of them. I'd probably throw in, a couple extras and do it for like $120 shipped. They are not an easy line to stay on top of, but you can get some lemon heads, some yellow rillies, as well as normal yellow King Kongs out of them. And they do breed like ants. So even if they do throw a lot of ugly ones, it is still really easy to stay on top and keep the headless horseman genetics going.
Dr. Anthony Welcome says, "A dwarf came in your pool in the backyard?" No, it would have its own setup.
Listen, when Mark told me I didn't have enough room, I was like, I'll build a cage over the pool. You don't tell me I don't have enough room, okay?
We have plenty. First of all, we have a whole half of our backyard that's not even being utilized, first of all. Second of all, we have even more room in the garage. If we would just throw things away that absolutely have just been sitting there, we'd have
Who
no
needs a coffee
need for
table?
them.
I don't even drink coffee.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
I even told my dad I was talking about how we would move the coffee table and get rid of it. And I was like, I really don't even think, even if I had the room in a house, that I would have a coffee table, because it's just another thing that piles things and people just throw things on it, or it's something else to clean. And I'm just not that person. I'm sorry. I put your stuff up. Crypt Keeper says, member for 17 months, says, "What up, Grant and Shelby?" Welcome in, Crypt.
How's it going? Congratulations on winning. Sorry I gave away your winnings, but I'll make it up to you. So I know you're waiting on something for me, so I'll just have to send that to you. Just remind me what you're waiting. I think it's the green jades. Maybe it's the green jades. I can't remember.
Sterling Aqua Shop, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Said, "How are those raccoon tigers of yours looking, Shelby?" So I will probably put those back on the website. Maybe sell a couple packages, and then they'll come in right back off, because we did actually see some babies in the tank, and Grant did get some photos of it to have some proof.
I had to show her. I fed all the shrimp last night, and I was like, look, there are babies now in the Sea Chem. The Sea Chem tank is coming through now. We're using just Sea Chem minerals and only their appliances. Appliances is not correct.
What is going on with
additives? I was close. Okay, come on. But yeah, they.
That's not the only tank of them.
The raccoon tigers. They're not that hard to like really get wrong. So
Say that again.
The raccoon tigers. They're not
Okay.
really hard to get that wrong.
You said it weird.
It wasn't
like you
right.
Say
It wasn't. It didn't
botanicals or
sound good regardless.
Botanicals. It's like
Listen,
raccoon.
I didn't like how you said
Raccoons.
utilize, but I didn't say anything. Okay,
When did I say utilize?
you said utilize. You can go back. All right, and probably
We're gonna have to spend an hour trying
no,
to
an
figure
hour.
that
Just
out.
go to an hour and 25 minutes and watch from there. And you'll only spend 5 minutes. All right,
Thank
guaranteed.
you so much, Sterling. I will put them back on the website tonight, but they will be going down fast, especially with Black Friday approaching. I will not have those or tangerine tigers on our website.
Stop. That's my next announcement. You're stealing my. Oh man, it's
Then
not
I'm
content.
taking tangerine tigers off the website.
Yeah.
That was your announcement? Oh, okay. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
you're stealing my
Okay,
routine.
and then
This
we're
is-
also
This
taking
is all
the-
part of my set. You're taking it.
So sorry. So sorry.
It's like a comedian stealing my jokes. All right, you need to back off. These people need to hear my voice as much as possible. All right, that's my gift to them.
He wanted to be comedian. I said the only reason he'd ever be funny is if he had me in the audience to make fun of him.
No, you know what it is? Is 2019 going into New Year? Set your resolution. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make 2020 the year that I'm gonna go to some stupid little dive bar and do a stand-up routine, do a set, and just see how it goes. Like I was gonna put the foot down and I'm just gonna do it, no matter how bad. Whatever happens, right? And then COVID hit, and I was like, nah, that's God saying
That was a sign.
that
You're
shouldn't-
not funny.
that I was supposed to do YouTube videos to talk about shrimp and change the world, because one day they'll take this information to space and then shrimp will colonize more planets, all right? More planets than we have followers right now, just
Shrimp?
to see.
Shrimp are aliens. That's what they really are.
No, they're not.
Conspiracies. Hashtag conspiracy. Okay. Thorn trap. What are some hard water and high pH shrimps?
Neocaridina is what I'm going to recommend to you, because I think you're looking for something that is going to work with your tap water. I almost said trap water because of your name, but you want to make sure that, you know, with other harder water shrimps of the Sulawesi and stuff, that you keep really consistent, stable parameters in like tap water, depending on the year, depending on where you live, the weather, how hot it is, and stuff like that. Those conditions can change on you. So I don't recommend using tap water for Sulawesi shrimp. But what I do recommend is using, high pH tap water for your Neocaridina shrimp. They love it. They do great in it. They thrive. Depending on how hard it is, you could do some tiger shrimp, but there is limits on that.
And then Easy Rider said, what is your Instagram? So it's just all lowercase, the Garden of Eater. You'll see our little logo at the top. And then posted, we got some good videos and reels coming up. And Grant's been posting some really good killer pictures on there lately. So we're trying to keep up with the social media. It's taken a while on Instagram because it was like the last one we like cared about, and then we were like, you know what? A lot of people tend to use Instagram.
It was the last one we cared about, the first one to hit a viral video. Like, it's a love-hate relationship with Instagram. It really is. I feel like it gives like zero reward, but then like every now and then it comes through with some gold. So it's worth digging at it every now and then.
Matt, since you don't drink coffee, where does all that energy
Huh. If you knew what I was taking, you'd be like, what the hell is wrong with this kid?
I drink coffee, but only in the morning.
The stuff I'm on would make you yawn.
I actually get sleepy from coffee. Crip says, woke up, saw you all streaming, had to pop in before continuing my slumber. Back to sleep now.
I
Have a
took
good
something
night.
that should have put me to sleep last night, and I was like, done. I fed all the whole house. I was like, yeah, Shelby, I was supposed to like go to sleep, and now somehow I feel like I'm just gonna feed the whole house. So that's what I did. And then I brought out the camera and took a week's worth of photos, if not more. I got like double photos. Like, if you're not following me on Facebook and you don't like newts,
then you're not going to be upset. But if you like nudes,
It sounded so
then you're
bad
gonna
when
be
you said
upset.
that.
yeah, send me nudes of your nudes. I'll take them.
Oh my gosh.
But just nudes, please.
Why does this never work? There we go.
Oh,
All right.
Shelby just put the raccoon tigers back on the website.
You could've
See,
given
how did
it,
that
like, a
feel?
few
How did that
minutes.
feel? I just stole that from you. You know you wanted to say that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. You can lie all you want.
So,
Just like you're
You're
not going to
evil.
put sunflower seeds on your salad. You know you would. You know you would. You just didn't want to tell me I'm right in today's argument. That's
I
what
think
we
the
argue
next
about.
hashtag
is whether or
for
not
the
she
Fish
actually
Fam
wants.
giveaway tool is going to be hashtag Grant if anyone wants him. Try to keep pawning him off on his buddy Mark, but he's like, nah, it's your time this week, not mine. It's your responsibility.
See, listen.
You do not yell
Even
at her,
Matt,
Mr. Eater.
even Matt is smart enough that he doesn't want to take
So
me
tell
and that I'm
her
a
you're
poor
sorry.
investment. That's why he's only interested in you.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so
Dee Dee understands that. Shelby's stealing Grant's thunder.
she
He wants
has
all
this
the
whole
thunder.
year. Like I don't understand.
Open mic at Aquashella. He will try to tell a couple jokes, and he's just not funny. It's okay. But most people just kind of like, fall asleep like just like
No, I know when I like
Okay,
tell a
all
joke
is
and nobody
Sean.
laughs, and then Shelby's in the back going ha 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 ha. I tried.
Oh, it's too good. Do you carry super tigers?
Once upon a time, I sold a ton of super tigers one year. Like I thought they were faster breeders than tangerine tigers, and then we moved them, and then they're all like mad that they lost their prime real estate and they have not bred the way they used to. So they're one of the shrimp where like when people were like, oh yeah, I gotta add new blood to increase breeding and stuff like that, then I'm like, maybe I need some new blood into the genes to kind of maybe those shrimp aren't from Alabama, but like the rest are. I don't know. So I'm sorry if you're from Alabama. Just the joke works. But yeah, we haven't had super tigers available for a long time. I thought I had a tank booming with super tigers, and then my idiot self forgot that I crossed them with orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, and I forgot to take them all out. So now they're like all mixed. I mean, if you want to take a little gamble, I will do my best to go through there and take all the pure super tigers that kind of like are still running amok. But you gotta be kidding. Dr. Anthony needs a sailfin molly.
I was just talking about this. I actually got to get rid of male self-fit molly, so I got at least 2 of them. But I got one that's really nice that you can have. I unfortunately ended up with so many males that I have no females, and I told him that I need to go back out and get females because I have been breeding my fish finally. I have gotten least killies. I know it's honestly the least, awesome one to be breeding, but the least killies are breeding really well in the garage. So now I'm moving on to the next projects, and sailfin mollies are definitely up there, and making sure that these wild fish can produce so that we can create a supply of wild fish that are produced in the tanks. So I'm
or
not
in the
mucking
Cayman
up,
lizard crocodile enclosures.
I mean, if we start breeding it enough, it's probably going to become a source of food eventually.
I was so ready to go to the spot to get them, and then you're like, nah, I don't need them. And then I was like, fine. I guess
Let me
I'm not
know
going
if you
to
need
that
anything
spot.
else that we haven't sent you, Dr. Anthony, and we'll send you out a package for sure. Sterling Aqua Shop, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Says this is the best news ever. I love my raccoons.
Oh, the
I actually
raccoons.
hate letting them go so much. Like, I don't know if you could tell, but I obviously reposted my raccoon picture. And I told Grant, I'm like, I already posted this one, but I didn't edit the original one. And it's so dark, it's really hard to tell, like, the details of a raccoon shrimp. So, like, I've been working with Mo, who's been teaching me how to use Photoshop to properly correct my, like, light in the photo so it's not so dark. And I reposted it, and I was like, I already posted the same exact picture. It's just now clear. And I was like, this must just be how much I love my raccoon tigers. It does hurt. It does hurt.
All right, so
Grant,
back-
you need to stop sending pictures to people. You know, Matt over here. Dr. Anthony's questioning it, whether he wants one or not.
Hashtag send newts. I will take newts as birthday presents and Christmas presents coming up.
Oh,
I'm just
I
saying.
like this. Gina says, Shelby, I gave Danny $5 to kick Kenny last night. Should I do the same to give you that last push to kick her?
No,
No,
she
I
wants the $5 for a throat punch. That's what she wants. She's been threatening me with a throat punch for a while now.
It's so funny when I throw people off too, because I'll just be sitting there and I'll turn to Grant and I'll just be like, just want to throw a punch. I watch way too much anime, honestly. Like, it's just, and we're really watching One Piece way too much that I just want to like, he just punches everything. And I'm like, I feel you, Luffy. I understand you.
But she won't kick me because then she'll kick my legs and then she'll hurt herself.
For sure. I sprained my toe like weeks ago now, and it's still sprained. I have no idea how it happened.
All right, so last announcement, and then we'll do the drawing.
Oh, look, Kirk's so nice. He said I thought his jokes were funny at the ACLC talk.
They might not be Dr. Anthony funny, but they're close, okay? Dr. Anthony's
Kirk
got
goes,
the best.
why did everyone hashtag my name earlier?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Did you ever figure out what happened with them backlines? Do you ever rewatch our live streams, or do you just like get the cliff notes from somebody else and then send those to me for the description for the cliff notes? I'm starting
But
not
anyway,
to believe you
it's-
watch us anymore, Crip.
Hashtag Crypt Keeper for the giveaway right now. A lot of people put the wrong one in or are asking about it, so that is for the giveaway right now.
There's a $20 throat punch.
I can't do that.
You gotta do it.
I can't.
Right the Adam's
I
apple,
can't.
Shelby.
I
Go
can't.
for it.
I'm gonna
Don't
have
hold
to
back
refund
either.
This. I'm gonna have to refund this. to you.
Don't hold
I
back.
can't do it to you.
Come on, go for it. The fish family said thank you, Jesus. And I thought it was said for the $20 USD super punch, but it said chat.
This is too funny. Oh my gosh, I cannot. I'm gonna have to refund it to her. I can't. It's too funny.
I'm waiting.
I
She's
can't.
gonna wait till I throw my guard down, and she's gonna be like, "Cha! I told you, Gina said I could."
I can't.
You should do a poll,
Oh,
like
you'd
run a
be
poll
funny.
in chat and be like,
I
"Should
don't know how to
should
do
Shelby
those.
throw punch Grant?"
Stop. I can't. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to send something to you now. Which print do you want?
All right. So the announcement. All right. We have a few items on the website that are dwindling down, and I figured I would give you all a heads up. Tangerine Tigers, isopods, which were off the website, but brought back onto the website. I found a lot more today than I thought were in the aquarium. Emeralds are dwindling down. Those are really coming down to a small number, as well as cheetahs. We had an order go out today. I do have. I mean, Shelby, you need to do it, or else like people are gonna go, well, let's see her price, and they're just gonna keep sending money until you throw punch me, and then there's gonna be a price, and then people are just gonna walk around and be like, here's $40, Shelby, throw punch Grant.
I can't do it. I can't. It would be like the weakest. It wouldn't even be satisfying. I can't. I've literally never thrown punched you like hard. If I did, it was accident. How high will it go? do not donate anything. I will. I cannot do it. No.
Make the fist.
Don't.
Make the fist. We'll do this together, Shelby. Just make the fist and then there. I think you guys could hear it too. The mic is good enough. It picked it up. There. Now
Oh my
people
gosh.
won't donate. Just to see, or an elbow.
Thank you so much. That's always good. Oh man.
All right.
Thank you so much. Oh.
And then Matt said something about the imaginary tangerine tigers. Listen, Matt. Somebody told me that they were having success in breeding the tangerine tigers, and I was like, "Are you serious? You're doing it? How can you do it, but Matt can't figure it out?" So I will just say this, Matt. I don't know what you did, but I don't know. I'm convinced you put antifreeze in the tank or something. You're like, Grant said these are indestructible. Bet they can't drink antifreeze.
I've literally burdened up. Crip said, as your number one, I must ensure that the viewers' donations are properly addressed. Donations of 20, that's a minimum. A kick.
You'll have to listen. They were donated. Didn't mean for every night. You know, maybe you'll have to watch next week to see if she follows through next time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so funny.
For you, Shelby, it's okay.
Shrimp keeping in a wrestling match. My God, pretty night. Matt thinks you sent him duds. Oh.
I think you gave him baby shaken syndrome or something. I don't know.
Matt uses ammonia for water changes. I think that could be the issue. But he used a different word for ammonia. The hashtag is for what is it called?
Hashtag Crypt Keeper. We have a couple prints from Sam Scales that will be given out. That's why the hashtag was a little confusing. We generally use the same one, but since we stole this one from Crypt Keeper,
I guess I'm not falling back asleep.
see, I didn't think you'd be here at all, so that's why I was like, yeah, we're not going to give this away because you usually have to be on chat in order to receive your prize, or else we'll give it away to somebody else. But yeah, we gave away a print in your honor since you already have all of these prints. I believe you have all of these prints. If you don't, I'm going to feel real bad. Now that I think of it, I think you only have the paid prints. So I'm just going to have to send you a print too, as well as giving one away tonight. So let's see. Matt said, when am I getting that special print for having the top comment that week? You forgot me again. Did you ever email us? I think your problem is you don't email us to receive your gifts, Matt. You got to send us the email so it's there Monday when we go through and ship everything out. Also, if anybody is waiting for something, I think Jeff is waiting for some orange pumpkin shrimp. Are you waiting?
No,
or?
he is not ready yet.
That's what I'm saying. He's waiting. He's waiting to get them, not waiting on them.
Yeah.
All right. He's still waiting. So, yeah, you can do the giveaway now. I think everybody got the gist. You didn't go grab the prints? What were you doing?
Dying.
Oh, fair enough.
Still dying.
Well, you failed. You're still alive.
I know.
Can't even die right.
Sorry, my bad. My apologies.
You struck me. You were supposed to take yourself out.
Oh my gosh. I can't even think right now.
It's all right. Just breathe, think, and click. You got this. 3 people. Run it. All right. 41 entries.
Are we running it right away?
Spin it.
Thanks. All right. Ready? Oh, wait. Is it? Oh. Verifying. We're going to refresh that again. Oh.
It's still 41
Oh.
inches.
Abstract aquarist.
Aquarist.
All right, congratulations. Are you still here though? I mean, this hasn't been running for that long. It has maybe, but are you still there? If not, we're gonna spin again. So don't leave yet, guys. I don't have any more chat topic notes written down anymore. So if anybody has any questions or anything like that, I'd be happy to cover over those. Besides that, the only thing really to talk about is we were just at the Southern Aquatic Experience in South Carolina. It was a one-day show from 9 to 3. It was a nice little event. It was a good warm-up for this weekend. Congratulations, still here. Sorry, everybody else, no prints for you. But we we do this thing every other week, and I do like to select winners based off of the best comments of the the 2 week periods. Maybe we're gonna do the best comment of the month because it's a lot less confusing, and then we just do a random one every non crypt keeper or comment of the month. So we will do the comment of the month still. Any video, as many comments as you want. It could be something as simple as suggesting a video to do in the future or a live stream, or just good advice, support, or anything like that. So we will pick out the best one. Jokes are always welcome. Some of you tried, some of you a little inappropriate for our live stream, so chill, dial back maybe just a little bit, but try to think of something clever and unique.
I do want to say that I already forgot what I was going to say. Oh, if we haven't sent your printout and I did not respond to your email, if you're here and you don't mind sending that email again,
or stickers
so
or anything like that,
I can send that out. I do see this one sticker. I lost track of where we are in the emails because we have been going back and forth with a few people on trying to help them out. And now I'm lost in the emails again because usually I respond. So if you can, I will make sure to get those out as soon as possible this week. So, and then Johnny Best asked, do mixed red pintos get as big as orange neos?
So basically, yes, they do. I do find that Neocaridina can get a slightly bit larger, definitely rounder in the belly, and a little bit more girth. But like for the most part, they're almost the exact same size. If they're any bigger, it's like a millimeter or two. It's not really much. So yeah.
Abstract said, why are wilds larger?
So they just have that primal genetic DNA that just makes them a little bit bigger, makes them eat a little bit faster, grow a little bit quicker. I don't know why, but I would say that I have yellows that are just as big as any of our wilds, and we have some greens that are just as big as any of our yellows. So there are shrimp out there. Mostly the ones with the back lines get bigger, and a lot of the wilds have the back line. It's a dominant trait. So.
Okay, this is, don't let them lie to you. They say they'll send you things out. You were supposed to send him something, weren't you?
That was the bags. If you're still bringing up the bags, listen. Sorry. Not now, not recently. That was ages ago, and he's still bringing it up.
Aren't you supposed to send them?
No, I offered, and he's like, nope, don't eat them now.
Okay.
He's still throwing shade my way from the bags. I know that's what it is.
Mimic said, can you get orange eyes without the Serrata gene? I'm assuming no, because they all stem from tigers, right?
All right, so there's two different types of tigers. I mean, there's more than two different types, but there's two main types of tigers when we talk about hybrid shrimp. There's the Serrata and the Marie. The Caridina Maria are the orange eyes, where the Serrata is the tangerine tigers, the Aurora blues, and the cheetahs. The serrata has the back line. They have the dots and the snowflake genetics to them, where the Caridina Maria have the orange eyes. So technically, no, you cannot get orange eyes without the Caridina Maria, but you definitely can without the serrata.
Crip said, "Are there enough Paracaridina shrimp to make that a stream topic?"
I mean, yay and nay. Like, there's still a lot for me to learn about the Paracaridina. I'm not very successful with the ones we even have. Assuming that the only ones we have right now that I know for a fact are Paracaridina are the Super Princess bees. And we're able to just keep the colony going, not really able to have any for sale or anything like that. Once upon a time, they were on our website. We've sold some, but then after the first sale, the shrimp were like, "Nah, you took some out of the tribe. We're not making any more." Like, they make enough to get the next generation to keep their ways and their culture and stuff like that. But besides that, they're like on their way out. They're like the last pygmy tribe without contact. And yeah, I don't know. So there's also the possibility of the Hummel shrimp being a Paracaridina. The raccoons could be a Paracaridina. The Stardust could be a Paracaridina. They could be a different Aracaridina or whatever. I don't know, some different name that it is totally different. It's different subspecies altogether. So I would love to, like, even doing the wild topic on the wild shrimps. I've even thought about like doing that one just with Alex, just so if there's any misinformation out there, I can blame it on him.
What? Johnny Best said, "I want to have 3 different type in one tank that don't interbreed, only with their kind."
So I would do raccoons and a Neocaridina, and then like a tangerine tiger or any other tiger really besides raccoons. You could also add in Stardust to the mix, and then on top of that, you could do Malala shrimp if you had it more of a neutral pH and didn't let the temperatures drop. So, and then yeah, see, it's the bags. I'm telling you.
He said he would never bring that up.
Yeah, he would never bring it up, but he's beating around the bush.
We're caught up in chat.
We've got 3 minutes left. What are we going to talk? All right, the
Just
expo. The expo was great. We went and had ice cream, of course, but a little bit different of a spin. We decided, hey, we're out, new state, Carolina. Last time we were in a Carolina state, we got the best Indian food of our life. So we're like, let's hunt that down. Ended up going to an Indian food restaurant that was legit next door to the hotel that we booked. So like, oh, convenient, right? We're right here. But then after we had Indian food, of course we need ice cream. So then we had to travel like 10 minutes away to go get ice cream. And Shelby picked this place called Licks, where they do the crazy over-the-top milkshakes. Like, I'm talking, I got a blueberry cheesecake milkshake, and there was a cheesecake on top of my milkshake. The milkshake itself, the glass was dipped in frosting and then rolled in graham crackers and, blueberry drizzle and, of course, the actual milkshake itself. It was more of a gimmick to me than it was an actual delicacy. Shelby was all like, "Oh, you gave my milkshake a lower rating than what I would have given it," and then she's like, "Oh, I remembered all the caramel drizzle. Never mind, lower rating." So like, definitely it was gimmick. It was given that drizzle to add on the little flair, but like, there comes a point when the caramel just doesn't really add. If you just have apples, caramel is delicious. But if like you have ice cream already, you don't need caramel added on.
Just fun fact, like candy apples are actually really, really dangerous to have. There's a microbiologist who tests the safety of food. A whole story about it.
Listen,
don't want to listen, but just don't eat the ones where they stab the stick in the middle of it.
If you die because of a candy apple, survival of the fittest. I was telling the kids, listen, bring your peanuts to school. If some kid dies, they're just weak. It's Darwinism's survival of the fittest. I'm not serious. These are jokes.
You're not funny. funny.
Ugh,
This is
Good
why I
shot.
say you're not funny.
listen,
Uh,
Crip's got better jokes than I do. Ed has the best jokes though.
yes,
Chattanooga Ed, you never think of it, but he's got them jokes for days. They're so good.
I did find it funny though. We did notice for like several years now, our children have worn a red shirt for picture day, and like we didn't notice till like all the photos were lined up on the fridge, and we were like, why did every photo day the kids have worn red? Now this year, it's picture day on Friday, and guess what color they gotta wear? Red. So I don't know if it's always lined up with the same, like, because they have the Spirit Halloween week. I don't know if it's lined up every year the same way, and they've just had to wear red on that day. So that's all I could be thinking about. I just got a message about it. Jeff Kane said, I do think you and Alex should do a stream or video together on shrimp origin.
Yeah, in this one, we won't break an aquarium during it. He broke an aquarium last time he did a live stream with us. Well, he didn't. Shrimp. Our dog did it, but it's because we didn't have a heads up. He just showed up. And I think it was you that was like, yeah, are we going to have an appearance from Alex? And I think he's like, oh, I guess I got to make an appearance. And he just went 20 houses down and showed up at our house. It's such a small world when he's like, oh, yeah, I've got a friend, long-time friend who's going to let me stay in his house for like a week. He just happens to live in Spring Hill, right? Where we live. Well, he just happens to live not on the same street, but the next street over, 20 houses down. Like,
very
yeah,
close.
very
It's
close.
ridiculous. SC Catahulo said, Shelby, got some good news. I just found a new batch of babies in the flower tank. Ooh, congratulations. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was great to see you again. Definitely wish we had more time to chat and hang out, but we will probably
Such
be
a
doing
short day.
2 or 3 more trips to the Carolinas next year alone. So
I already know the next year's show.
We have
most
AG
likely going on.
AGA as well. So I think it's
Mhm.
4 shows in the Carolinas total. 2 in
3.
North Carolina, if not 3 in North Carolina, and then 1 or 2 in South Carolina.
Hmm.
There's the 2 North Carolina shows and the South Carolina show in AGA.
Mm.
Yeah.
Crypt Keeper said your jokes were better at ACLC.
Well, that's because I
His
got
jokes are only
photos.
good about me, honestly. So it's honestly that I'm the funny one, and he just takes all the credit
I just
for
think
it.
it's funny to break Shelby's rules. That's what it is. And then when I break the rules, it's funny that she's like, yeah, that rule was stupid. That's what's funny. That's what's funny. It is. It's you.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not so much a rule. It's just a want to have like a normal home, like most people do.
all right. So far next year we have a Louisiana trip booked for speaking, and then we have we'll do the Aquafest show too. So 2 trips for Louisiana. Then we're speaking for Keystone Clash, and also speaking for the Connecticut club show in April. And then there is the club that Luke runs, and I think he's waiting for me to send him dates, and I'm horrible at checking the calendars and getting back to people, but I should be getting to that sometime this week where I can put everything on a calendar and figure out when the best time is to take a trip over there. I believe there's 2 clubs in California. They also had the expo that they did in California this year, but somebody else was the headliner speaker, so other speakers got canceled. But if I'm speaking for their club, I probably won't do that. And it's like too far to do honestly a booth at a show. Like that would be better off just speaking at that event. But possible I could be speaking for Fishtoberfest next year, but I don't know what Kenny's deal is with his whole new show yet. He still owes me a phone call, or I need to talk to him about everything that was going on there. So
It'd be really cool to go to Portland, Oregon, though, because not only are you there, the Harley's there, and one of Grant's friends from school is there. Also my friend, just more Grant's friend.
And the
So-
Bloomfields, but they might move before we get together. So.
Oh, really? Oh. Grant can tell jokes. Let me know when that starts. And then Crib said, Matt, you have to attend one of his talks to experience his best jokes. And he said, wait, that sounds bad. Not saying his talks are a joke. Good one, Crib. I like you. But Dr. Ansley said, you sure you're speaking at Keystone Clash? Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure this year. And I kind of got excited when I saw the announcement because there was a doctor. And I was like, oh, Dr. Anthony. And then it wasn't Dr. Anthony. So I was a little let down. But yeah, I understand your situation. We had one similar. But yeah, I brought that up. So it was cleared up. So yeah, well, I'm looking forward to doing our powerhouse talk where me and Shelby do a talk together about keeping all the aquariums in the house. And then we're both doing our own talk. Hers is on collecting, and mine will be on ice cream.
That makes sense for you.
See, she
Mine's
laughed,
not
Matt. She
Just
laughed.
on collecting,
Okay.
though. Mine will be on collecting and preserving. So, little tidbit. Luke says, yeah, I'm hella busy too, so no pressure. We'll figure it out soon. Welcome in, Luke. Bendig in Sacramento is still in planning, but should be end of June. Just saying, we already booked something for June right now.
No, it's July.
Oh, no, we do have something in the beginning of June.
It's in the beginning of June.
The North Carolina show.
Oh, also, I don't even know when the Aquashella shows are. So
I already got it screenshotted right here. I made sure to know. May, August, and November, and then October. I don't know. There's something in June, so don't be booking nothing because I know there's something in June. It actually might be Sacramento.
that's what it was last year. But then last year we went to something right after it, like it was Aquashella or something that we would have had to do the very following next week.
Yeah,
And that's why we didn't do it this year.
I don't know.
So doing a talk on ice cream, yeah,
Preserving
Chris.
ice cream.
Preserving ice cream in my belly.
August in Peru, right? No, we have August is booked by Aquashella.
If we can take care of Hawaii
That's Chicago.
next year, and
Chicago!
then the following year or the same year we go to New Zealand to visit my family there. That's after those two trips. Then we will start going probably Peru first, since China and Taiwan doesn't seem logical right now. Did get invited to go to China to judge their SIPS contest, but my passport's not renewed, and just I don't think it's going to go through in time. So, no time, no missed opportunity, but still an honor to be invited to something as big as that. Still really nice. So, I think we're going to end it on that. You guys, I think it's been a good one. I think we're just now dying and losing our energy. So,
It was awful.
listen,
Uh,
you guys love the support.
Thank you so much.
Stick tuned next week. Gotta stay tuned. Maybe Shelby will punch me in the throat on her own. Maybe I'll have to force it again. But either way, I'll get punched in the throat.
let's not talk about
So,
this.
thank you guys for your throat punch donations. Thank you, Vibe, for your constant interruptions. All of it is pleasant as always. You guys are awesome, and thank you guys all for your support. Have a good night, everybody. See you next week, 9 a.m. Monday, Eastern Time. Be there.
You just said 9 a.m.
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Be there.
Uh,
Get in chat early.
we ain't
12
waking
hours
up.
minimum. Let's get the questions flowing soon.
Have a good night. Thank you.